Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Gentry. For my project, I chose to look at a company, Kirby Foods, who's a retailer in the Illinois, Indiana region. I've actually worked for them in the past, and I had the opportunity to interview their um, director of retail operations, Randy Butler. So I was able to grab information from him and take a look at what kind of issues they were facing and what their competitors look like, and even use some of my knowledge from having worked there in the past. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here's a little bit of information about the company moving forward. So moving forward and looking at what's Kirby Food about, Kirby Food's a retail grocery store chain that has 17 stores in the Illinois and Indiana markets. Um, to the left of the screen is actually 12 of those stores where they're at, so you have a better idea of where they're located within this region. It was formed by Jerry Scribner in 1969. Jerry Scribner opened the first IGA or Kirby Foods location on Kirby Avenue in Champaign. That location's still there, but has been bought up by a competitor, Neiman Foods, and now there's a county market there. The largest current location's located in Effingham. It's largest by one, square footage, and two, by the amount of business it's doing. So if you are in the Effingham area, you've probably shopped at this location before. Um, something very cool about the company is it's 100% employee owned. And what they've been up to recently is they've rebuilt the Tuscola location, or in this case, they've moved the Tuscola location from a central portion of Tuscola, Illinois, more so central western side, and moved it to the eastern side, which is very close to an interstate, obviously wanting to pull in more interstate traffic, moving into the old Shopco building behind the gas stations there. So that's a little bit about what's going on with Kirby Foods, what they're about. Next up, we'll take a look at their competitors. One of the things I really wanted to look at was the competition that Kirby Foods, IGAs, and Save-A-Lots have, and their most direct competitor, the one that mimics them the most, is Neiman Foods, the county markets in our area. These are both retailers who are selling extremely similar products, are recruiting the same employees. Everything's basically uh, as close to similar as you can get it between two companies, right? But then you have companies like Dollar General, Walmart, and Amazon who are all trying to provide these essential things to consumers where Dollar General's the cheap prices, quick and easy. Walmart and Amazon are leaning more towards going online now, being able to ship you like your detergent, your dog food stuff like that, your cereal, being able to ship that directly to your door. So definitely some changes coming in the grocery industry, but I did want to talk about the competitors quickly before we jump into HR related issues. So the first HR topic we should talk about is recruitment and the issues following that. As soon as COVID hit, this company lost their stream of unending high school students. Before COVID, they kept coming through the door. It was just a rapid, basically rotating door of high school students. A lot of them would stay throughout high school, through summer college. That's kind of cut off, right? Um, there's a small amount of applicants now outside of the high schoolers as well, and there's nearly no advertisement, right? These are the issues the company's facing, and recommendations, right, is the first thing they need to understand is, who are they looking for, right? And they're looking for cashiers, they're looking for backroom help, and stalkers, things along those natures to keep the store running. And something that worked and something Randy and I talked about in our interview was a return of old retired employees in the older generation. They've come in, they're picking up part-time jobs, and they really want to get back out there and see people on a daily basis or weekly basis. So, understanding that that is an option for them as well, at a part-time level, and that they're still looking for these high school students, um, that they can go in and bring into the company, for a few years at a time, at least through high school, maybe some of college even. And then, with recruitment, they need to be using, methods that their prospective employees will be using, right? You don't want to, be advertising your job in a way that's not going to reach those two different, sets of people, right? Um, you know, when I'm thinking about, that older crowd, I'm thinking about individuals who are going to be reading the newspaper. So they need to start using newspaper ads and things like that to say, hey, we really have positions here. Let's work together. If you want to come in the mornings, work 3, 4 days a week, maybe work weekend mornings, get the older audience in there, and that fills that. You're reaching out directly to the individuals you're wanting to hire. And with the high school students, being able to partner up with sports teams, the basketball teams, the football teams, all those high school sports, and start donating and working with coaches, and being able to look at these players even and be like, hey, I'll work with you during your season, but if when you're not playing basketball, you don't practice. If you want to come work 3 days a week, night shift, and make some money here, being able to go out and actually work with these people will bring in a little more of the high school crowd back to the grocery stores. So next up, we'll take a look at turnover, and the issue here is that um, they're losing people faster and faster, and especially since COVID, people are leaving. Kids would typically stay through high school. Now they're, 4 or 5 months in, they're leaving. Their middle management's leaving. Um, Everybody is coming in and then leaving a lot faster. And even the employees, where they're like, wow, this person could make a great store manager in a year or two, those people are leaving before any opportunities given to them, right? The company just can't act quick enough, to get these people into better positions, and the positions they're in are not where what they want them to be for their top prospects. But something to keep, and my recommendation here is, one, they need to conduct exit interviews. Right now, there's nothing. There's no exit interviews. There's not a survey. There's absolutely nothing. So with this, they need to conduct some exit interviews to figure out why these people are leaving, and where they're actually going to. Are they leaving because of pay? Are they leaving because of the job? Are they leaving because of college? Figure out what, and why these people are leaving. And if it's something actionable, right, you're not going to be able to affect an 18-year-old kid going off to college. But if that 18-year-old kid's like, oh, I'm going to start college, and then I'm going to work at the gas station, uh, 3 blocks down, because they're paying me more, they're giving me better hours or something like that, that's something the company can look at and can improve on. So valuable knowledge there. And then rotate employees, departments, and locations. This is going off of job rotation, right? Being able to change up what an employee's doing, being able to get them trained. Grocery stores especially have a very high need for this, right? Because you're thinking, well, I'm stocking the grocery, or I'm stocking produce, it's all the same. Well, not necessarily. And being able to flex individuals between these departments is definitely going to bring something new and give them something new to do every day, keep the job interesting, while also providing them more and more experiences to learn. Same thing here with locations. Job rotation, at least when I've heard about it, is primarily focused on, the job and swapping departments and learning something that way. But I think something that fits incredibly well into this is actually rotating locations and being able to send some of your top prospect employees, these individuals who could be up for store manager positions or manager positions, send them to some other stores and let them learn from a different store in your area quickly. And what I mean by that is, take the best practices from your store. You go to this next store, you're going to be able to share those, and you'll also be able to pick up some best practices of that store. Um, in this aspect, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're sharing best practices, and you're keeping your employees really engaged in the process, in their development here. So, uh, job rotation in terms of departments and things like that within the store, and then also um, rotating locations as well as an add-on to your top prospects here for store manager positions. So, taking a look at the past two slides and what we've talked about, right? I think the biggest conclusion I can take away from this and kind of present to them is, from the past to the present, right? The things you've done in the past aren't going to be the things that work in the present. You're not going to be able to rely on an unending supply of high school students, but what you can do is use recruiting tools to bring in new sources of employees that you've already seen work, right? You're starting to see these retirees come back into the workforce and be contributing factors to your success, right? And it's time to lean away from being able to just rely on high school students walking in the door and go out there and get get the high school students, get these retirees into your company and into your stores, being productive members of your organization. Right. And then in terms of keeping our employees, right, we don't want to just stick these people in one spot and basically pray that they stay. We're putting them in one spot and leaving them. They're getting bored, they're leaving. By implementing job rotation and location rotations, we're able to keep people interested. We're able to keep them motivated by providing them with new insights into the business and um, teaching them new things. And we're also enriching our own business by moving around knowledge from place to place, from department to department, from location to location here. And like I said, the biggest thing that Kirby Foods really needs to hear is, in this case, tradition might be the corpse of wisdom, and they really need to move forward from an outdated model of how the grocery industry worked to something more modern that's going to use some of the principles like job rotation and recruitment tools and resources to help push them along, um, and really make the company the best that it can be and solve its HR related issues.